The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of Take Shape for Life health coaches or clients. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to healthy living and weight loss will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a physician before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the Take Shape for Life team.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's Habits of Health webinar. It's my privilege and pleasure to introduce to you our host, Tim Giardino.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to our Habits of Health call. Before we get started, I would just love for everybody to find the chat window at the bottom there and just kind of type in where you're tuning in from. We just love to see where everybody's coming from. Oh my goodness, we got Michigan and Boston and California and Texas, and it's moving so fast I can't hardly even keep up with it. Florida, that's great. We have people all over the country, and we love that. We love our Wednesday nights and coming together. So yeah, let's get started. Angie, you want to just go ahead and hit record?
Absolutely, we are recording.
Okay, great. So hello everyone, and again, this is a Habits of Health call on Wednesday night, and my name is Tim Giardino. I'm a certified health coach with Take Shape for Life, Optavia, and I'll be your host tonight along with my wife Kelly. And before we get started, I'd love to kind of see where we're at with kind of who's on the line. So our topic tonight is life after weight loss. And so what program are you currently on? Is it a 5-in-1, 4-in-2, or 3-in-3? Just kind of like to see where everybody's coming from. Oh my goodness. All right, well, thank you very much. So just a little bit about myself. I found this program about 4.5 years ago. As you can see from my my before picture, I struggled a little bit with my weight, and I struggled for about 15 years with that, as a matter of fact. And when I found this program, it just seemed like it was so amazing that I wanted to jump in, and so I did right away. Actually, as soon as I heard about it. I struggled with vertigo and high cholesterol, and obviously my weight and energy weren't great either. So I actually lost my weight in a very short amount of time, in about 6 weeks, 55 pounds. I feel so much better and more vibrant now, and I've been able to keep my weight off now for about 4.5 years, which is just absolutely amazing for me. And Kelly actually has her own story. I'd like to have her share that just for a second.
Thanks, Tim. I do have my own story, and it was a dovetail of watching you get healthy. I decided I had to do what you were doing because it was changing you so beautifully. And about 4.5 years ago, when I started this journey, I was 25 pounds heavier. I've kept 25 pounds off for this 4 years, but I was pretty stressed out in corporate America and in a very high intense job. And so as I got healthy, I was able to kind of clear the air in my mind. My mind became very clear again. I was able to have sustainable energy at the end of the day. We were still raising some of our kids. We have 5 kids. And the beautiful part of that was that I actually became healthier. I was not a big worker outer. I know that's not really a word, but I didn't really enjoy that part. I had a lot of time on the train. I had a lot of time in offices and meetings. And now, what is so amazing is that I actually enjoy recreating and doing activities. I can't say I still love the gym, but that's okay. My gym can be outside. And I know there are some of you out there that think like I do. But it's been amazing because getting that weight off was the first, catalyst to getting healthy. But then when my mind stayed clear, day after day after day, and I woke up ready for my day, whatever it, was going to present to me, And then I still had time to think about things I wanted to do that I'd never done before. And so I have actually, in the last 4 years, done a lot of things I never thought I would do. I've actually done a mud run. I've climbed over a wall that I never thought I would do. I actually climbed over a very tall wall. I had a fear of heights. And just last month in Costa Rica, I overcame that fear of heights because I was healthy enough and confident enough that I went ziplining. So what I can say about my life after weight loss is that it really became my life that I loved and had wanted for a very long time, that I had only even barely dreamed of. I hadn't even thought about some of the things. I just would shake my head and say, no way, I'm never going to do that. So, you know, what this has done is actually given me a life that I really didn't think I could do, but I can. And so that has been quite a special thing that we've done on this journey. And so thanks for finding this program, Tim.
Thanks, Colin. Thanks for sharing. I do have another quick question for the chat. We know that perception is so much of, you know, kind of what we see. So, true or false? Are you on a diet? Just love to hear how people perceive this. A lot of great answers. A lot of right answers. So the people that are saying no. You are correct. We are not on a diet. This is an Opto Health Plan. And, you know, we don't focus on dieting because diets, you know, diets end. And so we are on an optimal health journey. And today we're going to talk about life after weight loss. So the first person I'd like to introduce after Kelly now, I guess, is Jason. He's a good friend of mine, and he's got a great story, and he's very inspiring. So, Jason, would you share with us?
You're muted, Jason.
There we go. I'm assuming that's better. Thanks, Tim. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be able to share. When we think about life after weight loss, we kind of think like we've crossed a finish line, we're on to something else. Really, I like to think my finish line came in January of 2015 because I was done goofing around with all this weight loss stuff. I was out of answers. I got 40 years of fat stories I could tell you, but what it boils down to, in January of 2015, I needed help. I needed to reach out. I was sick of starting in January and starting over again the next January, because by March or April, you know, I was done, burnt out of whatever I was doing. So fortunately, in 2015, a friend of mine who had been on this program and had lost 70 pounds came to me and, you know, found me and said, hey, you got to try this. And I really couldn't argue with him because he had changed completely. We had actually lost weight before. If you remember, you know, the Biggest Loser fad, you know, we lost a lot of weight and gained it back together. We were actually pretty good at it. So it was kind of surprised that I was back in that same spot again. But the program for me was tremendous. It gave me the structure I needed. It gave me the education that I needed. It gave me the accountability I needed. And probably most importantly, it gave me that healthy mindset to keep this thing going. Because it's been, I think we're going to go on 2 years this year of maintaining that healthy weight. And I can tell you that my life is completely different, as most people's are when they lose 116 pounds. You could see from the pictures, you know, there was a guy doing life with a family with kids and all that good stuff, but on the inside, that was work. That was, you know, and I was done with that. I needed to get the weight off to get back to really living, to be able to coach the sports teams I was used to be able to coach to be able to have fun with my kids, to be able to move around without huffing and puffing. My one favorite story I like to tell is we were on vacation in Arizona one year hiking up a mountain, and you know, I was alone with my oldest son, so videoing a little bit, trying to create a little memorial, and it worked out well while we were there. But then when I viewed that video and we got back, me and everybody else I was watching, you know, what's that noise in the background? I think that's you huffing and puffing. Like, oh, that cannot be. That was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. I guess that, you know, good or bad, that's in memorial, forever. I can always look back at that. But at least it's a reminder of a place where, I don't want to go anymore. I have a new mindset, new goals, new whys, and we're really living life more to the full these days. It's been a great experience.
Man, I love that, Jason. Thanks so much. I love your story, and it's so cool that not only we actually hit the reset button, and now you're a fully participant in life, and I see you interact with your family and stuff, and it's just really, really cool. If you had like one tangible takeaway for everybody, how are you able to maintain your healthy weight now? For 2 years now. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So probably a couple things, if I may. One is I think I keep that structure. I mean, whether it's 5 and 1 or 4 and 2, there's this general outline of how I'm going to go about my day, how I'm going to fuel myself, how I need to get water, and what actually I'm going to tell myself in the morning. With that, you're so much more free to speak positively in yourself when you're not being dragged down by 116 pounds. And then the other thing is, now that I've kind of inspired others and kind of leading them along, teaching others these habits of health, it's actually more beneficial for me. I think it's the teacher is learning more than the student kind of deal. And of course, going back to the basics when I have to, reinforcing Dr. A's healthy habits is super. And I couldn't be more grateful for all the tools that I have to stay on track and maintain a healthy life, so that I can actually live life instead of living some lesser version.
Wow. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for sharing, man. I appreciate that a lot. Before we go on, I'd like to ask another question in the chat. Kind of dovetailing off of what Jason just says. How often should you fuel your body? We got some really amazing students here, because everybody is just right on. Yeah, and the answer is absolutely every 2 to 3 hours. And that's how I've been able to maintain my healthy weight. I've been at this weight now for 4.5 years. And I just kind of live in 3 and 3 mode. Actually, a lot of times just because busy schedule, and I just like being outside a lot. We live in Florida and the weather's awesome. And I like to, ride my bike, go to the beach, do stuff like that. I'm just kind of busy. So I tend to lean into 4 and 2 mode quite a bit as well. And we have one last person that's going to share her story, and she has a really fun story. And so I like to have Shauna come on. She's a busy mom with kids, and she's she works out, and again, she's very busy, and I'd like for Shauna to jump off mute and kind of share her story a little bit with us.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Shauna Lewinsky, and I'm super nervous, so excuse me if I'm choppy. But I've been on my journey for just 7 weeks now. My husband Adam and I, we started this program together, but for very different reasons. He has a big weight loss goal and is still working towards it. He's lost 28 pounds in 7 weeks, and I'm so very proud of him. But I had a loose goal of just 10 pounds, and I lost 6 in my first week, and I was pretty satisfied with that. So I've been in my life after weight loss for most of this journey. And prior to being on program, my nutrition was really poor. Like Tim said, I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 young children, and by 4 or 5 o'clock every day, I was done. I was out of energy. I couldn't do anything, and making dinner was like the last thing on my mind. So we were eating out a lot, and for convenience sake, it was mostly fast food. I would say we were eating fast food like 4 or 5 times a week. And I've always been active and enjoyed working out, but over the last year, working out had become a chore. I wasn't seeing the results that I once did, and I didn't have as much energy as I used to. And I thought this was all because I'm almost 40. But now I'm realizing that's not the case. I felt like I was failing my family by not providing nutritious meals, and disappointed that something I once loved was now an unenjoyable task. And enter Optavia into my life. I now realize that how I was eating had a direct impact on my mood, my energy level, my motivation, and my patience. And now that I've learned to fuel my body the right way, I'm sleeping better at night and waking up ready to go. I have energy throughout the day, and when it comes time to make dinner, I'm actually excited about it now because I know I'm giving my family a healthy, nutritious, lean and green meal. Working out is fun again because I'm not constantly trying to out-exercise my poor diet. And my mood is so much more positive and happy. And I feel like it's also had an effect on my relationships. I think I've become a more attentive wife, a patient mother, and an empathetic and caring friend. And it's kind of like this fog has been lifted from me, and I can see everything so much more clearly now. So I'm so grateful to be a part of the Optavia community, and I'm so excited to start sharing this with every possible person I can. Can you hear me?
Well, thanks, Shauna. Hey, just because your schedule's busy and you're always kind of running around and stuff like that, what is, being on a busy schedule, what's been the best part of this program for you?
Well, the convenience, obviously. I'm not having to sit there and prepare tons of food all day long. I prepare food for the kids, and I have to prepare food for me and all this stuff. So it's so much easier, and just having less junk in the house is a lot easier too for my kids and everything. There's stuff on hand that we just eat fresh now. So the convenience is really great for that. But I love that everything shows up at my doorstep and it's ready to go. So that's great. And it's so easy to just shove a few bars in my purse. Or if you guys, other people don't always have purses, but to put them in the car or at your desk or something like that. Just that my husband keeps them in his briefcase so that when he gets, running out the door and hitting that train, he's got one on him just in case he forgets to take one when he goes. So it's so nice that you don't have to sit there, and I don't have to make this giant breakfast for everyone every day. We've got stuff to do now. We've got, here's a bar, honey. Go have a good day at work.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, the convenience is pretty amazing. And Kelly's actually going to share a little bit because, one thing we like to do is, Jason touched on this too, we like to get good at telling our stories. It helps to inspire other people and helps to help them on their journey. So we have, Kelly will actually talk a little bit about the Optavia Ignite.
I would be happy to. So, you're hearing these stories, and I know there are a lot of you on here with us that are totally transforming and have transformed. And so we want to just take a couple of minutes to remind everybody that you have an opportunity to share your story for our national convention for Ignite. And there are so many great reasons to do this. One is you could be highlighted at convention in Dallas coming up in July, but another thing is your story could be an inspiration that goes out into the whole nation as well if you're one of the winners. But most importantly, your story is important to share because it's going to inspire at least one person that's going to see it that maybe doesn't know you yet. And that's what this is about. We're in the pay it forward, business to say that we want to inspire with our own journeys because that's what this is about. We love to spread this mission of help and hope, right? So I just want to go over a couple of things that you can do to create your Ignite story, your Optavia Ignite story. It's a video. It can be a video of still pictures. It can be a video of you talking about it with still pictures, but it needs to be 3 minutes or less. So remember that because if it's more than 3 minutes, they're not going to let you be in the running for this. And we want your video to be in the running. And all of us in this community, we get to see who is putting a video in and vote on them. So we want that. So the videos have to be also submitted by June 15th. So we're about 30 days away. So make sure that, this journey, it doesn't have to have just started, that it could be a journey that you started like Jason's, years ago, or Tim's, or it could have just started like Shauna's. So it is something that tells where you were, what has happened, how did your health coach really play a big part in it, what is Optavia and your healthy community, what have they done for you to get to your goal, or if you're in progress. Remember, we're always in progress. So if you've reached a goal or if you're aiming for others, but make sure that you know it's when it has to be submitted. It's only 3 minutes, and then there's a link on here that you can click. We'll make sure you can write down. We'll make sure that it will be in with the recording of this, so that you can get all of the details. And you know, just some starters to think about if you haven't really thought about this yet is, how did forming health habits of health create a different life for you? What about, your confidence? It's not always, as we all, who have been on this, it's not just weight loss. That's just one element of our journey. We have the confidence that Shauna was talking about, the ability to conquer your fears that you heard me share with. And also, like Jason, the longevity of being the type of dad or the type of person in a relationship that you want to be and showing up well. What else makes your story unique? You can reach out and you reach out to your health coach. Ask them some things that they maybe remember about your journey that maybe you haven't remembered too. But just know to choose a great location that you can be well lit, choose a quiet area so we can hear you well, wear appropriate attire, and but have fun with it. This is what we do. We love, hopefully we've had some fun here tonight, and this is what we want to see out of your video, because they're just so important to share our stories, because that's really how we're going to get America and the world healthy. So get your videos in. We can't wait to see them, and we can't wait to see you at the National Convention. You might be on stage telling your story.
Thanks, Carol. Thanks, appreciate that. We just kind of like to just by wrapping up, just kind of recap a little bit of what we talked about tonight, and I love the fact that you said it's not about weight loss, because it's really not. It's about living optimally and enjoying this new health. And so even with enjoying your new health, do things that are fun. I mean, a lot of us had to go shopping and get some new clothes, so we look good in our new clothes, because the old ones just don't fit anymore. But the real key to this is staying connected. It really is. Stay connected with your health coach. Because when we're on our journey, I mean, everything's changing for us. Kind of how we do life, and Jason's story is spot on for that. Everything is different. So stay connected with your coach who's walked before you on this. Because he or she can see around those corners, and you're kind of coming up to them for the very first time. Stay connected in this healthy community. We are, we're better together. We learn together, we grow together, we challenge and support each other. And so that is we love this healthy community. So that's a really big deal. And, staying in progress, always kind of making new goals. I love that when, clients and stuff, and we talk about making new goals. And just kind of line them up and knock them down. So continue learning and practicing your healthy habits, and continue to fuel yourself even after your goal weight. Once you're there, that's kind of where this whole thing starts, really. So you've learned how to fuel yourself. So continue to fuel yourself every 2 to 3 hours, even after you've hit that your goal weight. It just, kind of just supports more, just being optimally healthy. And like Kelly just said, get really good at telling your story, because you can really inspire other people to want to create health just like you did, And so, I mean, we call that the ripple effect. And that's really the, kind of the paycheck of the heart with this whole thing, is that the people around us, the people that we love and know, and our neighbors and coworkers and stuff, they're probably looking for something too, So we like to get good at sharing our stories, and then lastly, flip the script. This is so important. Somebody actually said in the chat a little bit ago, change the way you see things and the things you see will change. And that is so very true. So focus on what you want to create, not what you want to lose or get rid of. It's not necessarily about the weight loss, but it's about the life gained. So give yourself a new label. Healthy, energetic, active. Those types of things. Repeat those words to yourself. I mean, that's really, really important. I know when I first started this, I put those types of things on a sticky note, and I put it where I could see it. And so it helps you to retrain your brain, so you start thinking and acting, and it just kind of reorients your thoughts towards life gain over weight loss. So yeah, just in closing, and as somebody else typed this in the thread too, I love it. So I'm going to steal it. Remember that your health is a journey. It's not a destination. And so it's like doing the laundry. It's never done. So we just want to, thank you all for, coming and hanging out with us a little bit tonight. And I hope you got some good takeaways. And again, we just love this healthy community. And thanks a lot, everyone.
The preceding audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some Take Shape for Life health coaches or clients. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to healthy living and weight loss will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a physician before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the Take Shape for Life team.